Come, they told me, pa-ra-pa-pum-pum, a new podcast to see, pa-ra-pa-pum-pum, ra-pa-pum-pum. We have these jokes for you, pa-ra-pa-pum-pum. It's the BYB. That's tonight.
Great.
That's right. Welcome to the BYB program. That stands for the Backyard Boys. And tonight for you, we have a special guest.
Backyard Boys.
Skakel. Comedian, actor, LA Comedy Store regular, appeared on Comedy Central's Roast Battle, plays Barry on the Jellies on Adult Swim, and Showtime's I'm Dying Up Here. Welcome to the podcast. Is there anything else the folks out there in YouTube land should know about you?
Let me see. Well, I was on a couple episodes of Real Rob on Netflix. You know, Rob Schneider, if you like Rob.
I gotta check that show out.
I mean, it was pretty funny. I mean, he financed it all himself. I respect him for just being like, fuck it. I'm going to make my show the way I want it to be. So, yeah, that's about it. I don't have that many more credits that I know of.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, thanks for coming on tonight. We appreciate it. Everybody's been looking forward to this one. Yeah, awesome. I know. Well, you were in Benchwarmers too.
Yeah, that was my first Hollywood break, and there's a pivotal throw-up scene in the movie.
Yeah, how did you end up scoring that gig? Were you trying to like look into being an extra on movies, or did you happen to know somebody that was doing the show, Adam Sandler, for example?
I opened up for Nick Swartzen, I think, at the Irvine Improv many moons ago, and you know, if I've done one thing right in comedy, it's that everyone for the most part likes me. Even if you don't think I'm funny, you're like, okay, Earl's a nice guy. And he's like, you need a break. I'm going to write a small part for you in this new baseball movie. I'm like, sure. And, you know, most people are full of shit. So I thought he'll never do it. And he did it. And I was so nice on the set. The wardrobe girls were like, you can take anything you want from the trailer. I'm like, what do you mean? Like, you can take any, because they had a bunch of wrestling shirts. And I'm like, you mean I could, and the shoes, they had these real, not a big deal if you don't like sneakers, but they had me wear these really rare Nikes, and they're like, you can take them home if you want because you're nice to us. So I was just like in the wardrobe trailer, taking every shirt I could get my hands on.
Nice. Someone's doing well. Yeah.
I mean, I was a fascinating, here it is.
Good afternoon, gentlemen. How you feeling?
I just destroyed that porta potty, but I'm feeling better.
Who did this?
No!
Oh, wow.
Sorry.
I mean, look at that acting. I mean, you really look like you threw up, man. That's amazing.
That scene took 5 hours.
Wow.
Seriously?
Because the director, Dennis Dugan, who, if you've ever seen the movie Can't Buy Me Love, I mean, this is, you know, that's a while
with
ago.
Patrick. What's his name?
Yeah,
Patrick Dempsey.
Yeah, I almost said Swayze. He played the father in the movie. He played Patrick Dempsey's father in Camp. He was the director of the show, and he just didn't like the way the throw up was hitting the porta potty. He's like, "Listen, we could do it better." I'm like, now I know why movies lose money. Like, this is not an important scene in the movie.
Who would somebody?
Oh, of course, it was a huge pivotal scene in the movie. Of course. Yeah, so they had to hook you up with the throw up machine and the tube on your face and the whole nine.
It was yogurt and chili, and I had to have some in my mouth, which I almost did throw up because it was just cold. And then they had like a stunt coordinator with a
stunt cock,
Orgasmo. I wish I was in that movie with a big, gigantic tube of the mixture, and it just 5 hours to film maybe a 10-second scene.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, crazy. So, do you know like Rob Schneider personally in real life?
Yeah, I opened up for him for 4 years. So,
Yeah, I would say you know him pretty well then.
2009 to like 2013, and he showed me the good side of the business. You know, it was sold out shows every night. I mean, 4 years he never didn't sell out one show, which is crazy. Like,
yeah, it is.
And he's probably he taught me the value of hard work. Like after every show, he'd go up to his room and write jokes, and like he wouldn't. He was married, so you know that part of the comedy lifestyle he did not partake in. So that left him all for me.
I like his
Hell
daughter.
Yeah, he's a West Coast guy too. I know you're out here on the West Coast, which is seems to be rare for the guys in the Dabbleverse or on the edge of it.
Yeah. I mean,
yeah.
I would say I'm Dabbleverse adjacent. You know, like
right. Yeah,
wish
Schneider.
Mark
He's
was-
I know I follow his sports because he's a Bay Area fan. He lives in San Francisco, I believe, still, right?
I think I don't want to dox him, but I think he lives in Arizona.
Oh, okay.
He was in LA. I mean, he's from Frisco. Like he started comedy at the legendary Holy City Zoo, which is like I don't know if it's still around, but it was like the Comedy Store of San Francisco. Like everyone started there. Robin Williams,
Who?
Right.
Dana Carvey, like just any Northern California comic started at the Holy City Zoo. But he got famous pretty much right away. So the complete opposite.
Would you say that Rob Schneider knows his X's and O's of comedy, and he taught you the X's and O's of comedy?
I mean, he taught me the value of. I mean, he's a great joke writer. You know, he gets a lot of shit for his movies and stuff, but which is, you know, you either like him or you don't. But he really, for someone as famous as he is, he still works his ass off, which was impressive. Like, you know, there was one time, I think we were in Tennessee and a horrible storm coming in, like a brutal, like, was that Marky Mark movie with the storm on the boat? Like it was a
Perfect Storm?
Yes.
With
Yeah.
that
Let's
story.
not leave
reference.
George Clooney out of this. Okay.
Yeah, no,
George
I
Clooney.
know. It's been a minute, and I think Diane Lane was in it. Let's not leave Diane Lane out.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
Sorry,
were-
Diane.
They were shutting down the airport, and Rob, you know, when he wants something, he gets it. So he walked up to the counter. Well, first I walked up, and they were like, "Dude, nothing's happening for you. Just you're going to be here all night." And then Rob walks up from behind me, and within 2 minutes, we were on the last flight out. Like it was stuff like that was pretty neat.
You can get us on this flight. You can do it. Is that what
I
it is?
mean, you know, I forgot how, like, you know, we were in Chicago and went to that. What's the famous deep dish pizza place? Giordano's,
Oh, I don't know.
something like that. And I go up to the maitre d', and he's like, "It's a 2-hour wait, buddy." And then Rob pokes his head out, very similar manner as the airport. And within 5 minutes, we were eating. Like, so there was a lot
Nice.
of-
He
lot
doesn't
of
threaten
perks.
people, does he?
What?
Yes, he absolutely probably does. He was friends with Judge Dredd. The dude knows his way around a weapon. I've seen it.
It just sounds like
it's terrifying.
sounds like one of those mob scenes where the mobster just walks up to somebody and he whispers in their ear, and the guy, "Okay, yes, yeah, sure, here, you can get in, get him in."
That's how it is. I mean, he knew I was a hockey fan, so I think one time we were in Chicago and there's the Blackhawks were playing in a playoff game, and you know that's a hard ticket to get in Chicago. Like the day of the game, it's even if you're Rob Schneider. In the same situation, I go up to he's like, "Let's go to the game." I'm like, "Nah, it's the playoffs, man. It's no one. We can't." He's like, "Let's just go." So I go up to the box office. The guy just he didn't even say anything to me. He was just like, "Get out of here." Rob pokes his head out like this, and within 5 minutes, we're not only on the 50-yard line of seats for hockey, but we're getting custom-made jerseys done. What's your number, sir? 87. How do you spell your last name? Skakel. I mean, it was just the perks were very nice.
Nice.
Awesome.
And I
Yeah.
also took you as a Blackhawk guy.
Oh.
You know what I mean?
Mhm.
You do. You know, I'm sure that you love
different spelling
Blackhawk.
completely. Different
The
spelling
Blacks.
completely.
Oh, okay. Sorry. All right.
I can't compete with those things, the Black Hawks.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're a great
Think Rob
team.
Schneider
aren't
could
they?
get a reservation at Dorcia's.
American Psycho. I like it. Only if Bateman gives the maitre d' head.
Yeah. Oh, fucking Dorcia.
I love
Yeah,
that
so
movie.
did you get a
That's the group
American
of friends.
Psycho?
Before I started stand-up, that was the group of friends I ran around with. They were all exactly like that. Just
Comparing business cards and whatnot,
killing
everyone
homeless
does.
men and stomping their dogs to death. Yeah.
listening to Huey Lewis in the news and
Yeah.
Genesis, and etc.
I mean, that's why that movie meant so much to me. I was like, this is my adulthood before comedy. Just everyone comparing everything they have to the other person and women around.
But yeah, especially the guy in the mirror, right? When you're pointing while you're having sex, especially
I've
then.
never laughed so hard in a scene in my life because I think me and my friend Eric had struck out with some girls at a bar, and we had nothing else to do, and we walked out. There's a movie theater right there. Oh, let's go see American Psycho. I don't know what it's about. And that scene came on. I've never laughed so hard in the theater in my life.
Don't just stare at it. Eat it.
Yeah. I mean, that's just because the whole theater, that's not a funny movie. It's unintentionally funny, I guess. But
you don't think somebody bloody and naked chasing somebody with a chainsaw in a hotel room? You don't think that's funny?
I mean, and the gay guy in that had so many funny scenes, you know, and then just it really captured that era because that was probably late '80s, early '90s.
Yeah.
In the movie, and you know, I grew up in that era in Los Angeles, so that they really nailed the ambiance of that world.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah. So are you a LA Kings fan, or what's your hockey team?
I am a King fan, and it's tough now because they come to the Comedy Store to watch me, you know, on like a night off. So I guess you'd say I'm friends with a lot of the team. So like when I see them get hit or in a fight, it's like I'm watching a family member. It's you know,
Watching your family members lose teeth. That's unfortunate.
I mean, a lot of the players, I have this ritual whenever they come. We take a picture by my name on the wall at the Comedy Store. You know, it's kind of like the Stanley Cup. You get your name on the wall, and every player who's taken a picture with me has gotten traded. Like the heck.
You're a curse, huh? Yeah. So you did bench warmers. Did you get a chance to hang out with Adam Sandler, or do you know him in real life, or get to do anything with that guy, or Dan Patrick, for example? There's since Bench Warmers was a sports movie, did you get to meet Dan Patrick?
I did a short film for Adam Sandler's nephew, who's like a really talented filmmaker now, and I don't think the film I did ever was released. To my knowledge, and Adam came by the set and he took us all out to lunch. And I was really impressed. Like, he talked to me because I had a Pittsburgh Steelers shirt on, so we talked about football. But he really went out of his way to talk to like the grunt workers on this thing, the camera guy, and you know.
Yeah, that's what I've heard. Is he's a super cool guy, like in real life.
I was very impressed by that. Like, you'd think he would have just talked to me because I'm the only comic. And oh, there we go.
Look
That's
at
me
this.
hanging out with. That's me. Super Bowl 50 with Dan Patrick on his set. You know, he used to do the show for Audience
Nice
channel.
guy. I didn't know he did Make-A-Wish things.
Yeah, no, that's literally a Make-A-Wish.
That was cripple pity, bro.
It was. That is
cripple
factual information.
How do you guys all know each other?
True.
Let's start asking some questions.
Yeah, if you want to know, whatever. We started. We watched the show In Hot Water with Gino Biscani. You may have heard of it or been on it within the last few months. But yeah, we all kind of met through being. We all call in, so we kind of had like a friends group of people that called into the show and kind of knew each other that way. Eventually, we ended up on podcast together. So we try to do some entertaining along the lines of In Hot Water.
I mean, I know you, Quad Father, just that one MLC with you and Chad, which you guys had, oddly enough, chemistry.
Yeah. Like when you put magnet north and south, try to get them together, and it worked out. Some kind of chemistry. It did happen. Whatever happened happened. Yeah, he came on the show, as you well know, and he came at me right like instantaneously, like, who is this guy? Why do you got this guy on here? And then whatever. It was like, all right, I guess that means you're fair game now. So that's how it kind of went down.
No, I enjoyed I listen to that episode frequently. Just when I'm trying to fall asleep, I love to pick a podcast, an episode I like. No, not because you guys. I didn't mean because you guys. But it's good to fall asleep to. You just drift away. So I owe a lot to the Dabble world.
Yeah, absolutely. Carlisa 499. I heard from the chat that Granny and Lemmy are meth heads, and Lemmy's birthed a child cousin. I hope you both get clean and let someone adopt that. Hard.
I'll drink to that.
No.
If chat says it, it's got to be fucking true as hell, right?
Chat says it. It is
Chat
true. And
says it.
that was covered by Nobody Likes Onions today. You know, Patrick Melton, Adam Hineker too. I don't know why. Let's get to that real quick. Why is your name Adam Hineker too tonight?
I just like using fake names. Just people like, I think that's Skakel, but who's this Adam Hineker?
Yeah, exactly.
I'm impressed you guys. I just got monetized on YouTube. I've literally tried to spend 4 days figuring out how to register with AdSense. I'm impressed that you guys did it.
Yeah, no, yeah, even though I have a super low IQ, I was capable of like filling out paperwork and whatnot. So, yeah. AdSense thing is a little bit of a pain in the butt, but it's doable.
I mean, I spent 4 days trying to. I'm like, because it keeps saying they don't have some of my payment info, and I go back. I have ADD, and once something's on my mind, I can't stop until I finish the gig. I will sign on to AdSense.
Something's on my mind. A hat.
Hello.
Welcome, Keanu Thompson. Your first guest has arrived. Hi. Yeah, Keanu Thompson was our first big get. Absolutely. So do you, like I was talking about Patrick Melton, have you ever actually worked with Patrick Melton, or Nobody Likes Onions as he's known now in the Dabbleverse?
We, I think, did a show at the Ice House. Maybe it was a Death Squad show, which is Red Band's network, and he used to every Friday at the Ice House. He would do the Ice House. Basically, it was a comedy store show at the Ice House. But me and Melton were on the same show, but I don't recall talking to him. But we speak semi-frequently on, I guess, DMs.
Nice.
Do you remember him being a very fat man?
I don't remember him. And he probably doesn't remember me either. He's a big guy, though. I wouldn't call him fat. I mean, he's 6'5", 280. That's he's like a football player size. Fat to me is Ralphie May.
Fat to you is to your left.
When you have two coffins.
Can you point to the fat on the show right now, please?
I mean, between all of you, if you're asking me who the heaviest is, I mean, it's kind of hard.
The guy with the smoke stain behind him?
It's me. It's me.
I would say Bobby Nick is the big.
Yeah, I'm the big guy. I'm the big guy. I'm the big fatso.
Apologize for
Hey,
bringing
Earl,
that up.
do you know one Corey Adam?
I've never talked or met him, or he's an Austin
Corey
guy.
Adam.
Yeah, I only know of him through I think Melton and
yeah, sorry to throw off your train of thought there with the picture.
Yeah, I mean that's definitely you guys are.
No, that's him practicing his karate. Like he trains with Phil Elmore. They get together and they train their kung fu. So that's him stretching out his hammies so he can do a proper high kick.
See, I'm new to the Phil Elmore. I don't know. I mean, I know who that is, but I've cut back my Dabbleverse watching. You at some point you got to pick one or two shows and just listen to those.
Yeah.
It's too much.
Yeah, absolutely.
Way too much.
Well, they
picked
covered.
Yeah, so
It's the same shit. So like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
pretty much
I
only listen
understand, dude.
to-
You know what? I had to cut back on my Dabbleverse fucking viewing.
yeah, you
too.
never started it, so that worked out conveniently
Yeah, I
for you.
know.
That you had to do very little work.
I'm
Yeah.
there with you.
Well, I mean, they covered.
Yeah, so
It's Melton and MLC is the two I listen to the most.
Melton was the
Yeah,
really
Melton was
hot as
funny.
something.
What was
I
that?
agree.
It
So
said
Death Squad. So you're closely related to Death Squad and Kill Tony. I know you know Kill Tony pretty well.
Yeah, I think I did five episodes. I did 3 as a panelist and 2 as the Iron Patriot for like fans of the early show. There was a superhero sidekick who was dressed up in like a Captain America outfit. And I mean, I was never funny on the show because I would actually try and give comedy advice, which really I don't think is the point of the show.
Yeah, it's more to bring them up, let them do their minute, and then just like rip on them. That's kind of the point, right? Like make fun of it, unless they do great, which is rare.
Yeah, I mean, it's just not my. You think coming from Roast Battle, I say, oh my God, it's the greatest show ever. I get why it's popular, but I don't think shitting on a new comic is really that impressive, to be honest. Like, if you want to shit on someone, like shit on Jimmy Carr, who can come back and give you just as good as you give him.
Right.
So
speaking of which, you were on Roast Battle. That's who you beat on Roast Battle, correct? Jimmy Carr.
Yeah, I went. It was a 4-1 on TV, and I think I was too good for my own good. I never did any other season because,
Well, I heard that you had some disputes with how Jeff Ross ran the Roast Battle, so it ended up being the issue in the end, correct? Like your relationship with him and like how he looked at you on the show and kind of had a negative view of what you were doing there. Because I know that you were the class clown heckler at the show while it was a live show. Then it turned into the TV show where Jeff Ross a couple years in took over.
Yeah, I mean, I think
issues.
Comedy Central was like, because they had every network passed on the show. It was like, who's going to want to watch a bunch of unknown comics rip on each other? But if they're good at it, it's funny. And they were like, I like the guy in the corner heckling, but we can't have that on TV. We have things called sponsors. Because I was doing like an Archie Bunker impression, more or less, and I guess they were like, "Can he battle?" And so I started battling, and then I was just beating everyone for the most part. I think I've lost 3 times, all 3 to women. Damn you, Lemmy, you and your girls.
No. I'm more interested in your Archie Bunker impression, if I'm being honest.
I mean, no one got it until one night. Jim Carrey was judging, and just goes to show you his comedy brain. Everyone's kissing his ass after, and he beelines over to me and just goes, "Hey Archie, where's Edith?" Like he totally got it.
Will you give us a little bit?
Well, I would. It was all improv. So if 2 people were battling, and the early days of Roast Battle were very. Like they had, if there was 2 white battlers, so like let's say me and Quadfather were battling, each one of us could say the N-word once.
Yeah, great.
Okay.
I love it.
Which was crazy because the host of the show is black. So it was a very aggressive form of entertainment, and then I started battling, and I got on the TV show because I beat Comedy Central's head roast writer so badly, like they had to use me. But looking back, I probably shouldn't have beat him as badly as I did because it didn't really seem to benefit me. So
yeah, and what did they call you? I know they had a name for you, like the house. It wasn't the house heckler; it was the house.
Well, the original name was the House Racist.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. Which is hilarious.
Well, it was so crazy at that time. Like this is probably before Jeff got involved. That they hung a sign behind my head that said "whites only."
That's hilarious.
And one night they forgot to take the sign down, and the next night the African American show, they had like basically an all black show the next night, and like one of the runners of the show was like, "What the fuck is this?" Like, so it was.
What kind of comedy store are we running here? Jeez, yeah, that's
Are you
hilarious.
saying that they ignored the sign and didn't follow the rules?
Well, yes, they were not happy the next night with that signage, but it was really a fun show back then. Like, because none of us thought it would get on TV because it was just a bunch of friends, and you know, each week it got more crowded and popular, and then you know, I battled a guy by the name of Joe Dosh, and that's the battle that sold Comedy Central on the show, because it was like showed what the show could be: two friends battling each other and the judges, and it was just the perfect. So, you know, that's why I'm a little I mean, I don't think I'm bitter, but just honest about what happened on the show.
Yeah, absolutely. So you were there in the beginnings of Kill Tony too. Like, he was one of the first podcasters. I know him and Joe Rogan originally back in the day. Were you around at that time at the Comedy Store, or did you show up a little after that?
I mean, I was in, I think the first Kill Tony I did, I think it was me,
Like
Michael.
the belly room in the Comedy Store?
In the belly room. It wasn't that full, you know, maybe half full, and it was all comics, no crowd, virtually no crowd. And, you know, you got to give Tony that. Like, he's made it into, you know, they're doing the Netflix as a joke festival, like probably in a theater. So, but, you know, like I said, the last time I did it, Tony got mad at me. He would probably deny this, but it's on YouTube somewhere. Allie McCoskey was on the show, and she was, I think, one of the Kill Tony regulars. And she's telling some story about going to Tijuana with two comics. I'm like, oh, D'Elia and Callum? And Tony kicked me under the table, and like, well, I guess there goes those two guests.
Whoopsie daisy.
How right I was. So
I'm also really interested in the Archie thing. If you could just maybe appease me, do some. I got a setup here for some, some. What is it called? Never mind. But let's just say that Archie gets home early and he sees Edith masturbating with a rolling pin. What do you think it would sound like?
Well, I mean, it wasn't so much an impression, like, you know, like a rich, like, let's say, for example, like Brian Moses, the host and creator of the show, he's black, and there'd be like one white battler and one Hispanic battler, and Moses would always set me up and go, hey, Earl, what do you think of this stage right now? I'm like, it looks like a courtroom. There's the prosecutor, there's the defendant, and I'd point to Moses and go, and this guy's guilty. Right? And so just stuff like that. It's not funny now, but like.
So it was more of like his. It wasn't like what he sounded like, but more of his personality. You would run off. Oh, okay, all right. I see what you're saying. All right.
And you had to be there in the room. Like, that's one of the. I think nuances of the early days of Roast Battle. It was like a Kiss concert in that room. And if you've ever been in the belly room, it's a very small room, you know, low ceilings. The walls are pretty close to each other, so the energy never left.
It's still there right now.
Hell yeah! Speaking of that,
you know, I mean, I don't know who Roast Battles, but the show still is pretty much sold out every week. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Have you ever performed in it like since it became a TV show? Like back?
No, I left the show just because I was like, "This is bullshit." Like,
yeah, the way that you got treated or whatever.
I mean, 3 people I beat got all 3 seasons, and it's not like, how's that make sense? Like, and it was really an illegally run TV show. If you've ever seen the movie Quiz Show, which is about the
Yeah, like the 1950s game show. The dude was a cheater. Yeah. He was actually like fed the answers before the show, kind of shit.
Yeah, but like I think because of that, they put in it's an actual law. I think it's called the game show law, where when there's a cash prize show, there's supposed to be no conflicts of interest. You know, just because it's
by law. Wow.
It's supposed to
I
be
guess
like,
that makes sense though.
Yeah,
I mean, cash prizes, right?
So, like, you know, you've got Jeff as an executive producer and the main judge. Like, that's literally illegal. Whether I like him or not, it's illegal.
Jeff with
So
just a fact. Period.
I would say at least 2 or 3 people that I battle on TV were employees of Comedy Central. It's like it's not allowed. You know.
Yeah, that's pretty amazing. You beat Jimmy Carr. I mean, like one of the most renowned comics in the world. That's a pretty good feat. That has to feel good. Like one check mark that you've done in your life to get to beat Jimmy Carr on Roast Battle.
I mean, it was a controversial decision just because a lot of people don't think I beat him, but because the judges, you know, when I came out, you know, I knew I had to do something right out in front to make an impression. So I had a clipboard down my pants that I took out because I knew Jimmy read his jokes.
A clipboard?
Yeah, Jimmy comes out on stage and reads his jokes. So he'll be like here's my iPad. I'll just use this as a clipboard. Earl Skakel's head is so big, blah, blah, blah.
How big is it? Oh.
And it's so big that if he was riding shotgun with JFK, he'd still be alive. Hello. So I knew if I came out with a clipboard myself, I started the battle. There's dead silence in the room. It's like 1,000 people in the room. And I looked at my clipboard and I looked at Jimmy and I'm like, I don't need my clipboard. Do you need yours, bitch? And I threw the clipboard in the crowd. I almost decapitated the lady in the front row. And that won me the battle because basically the judges were like, Earl, you had 1 or 2 jokes that didn't work, but he reads his jokes. You're going off the top of your head. That's tougher, so you win. So
plus performance art on top of it, right?
Well, it's not that I'm saying Jimmy can't memorize 4 jokes, but it is easier to read your jokes. So if me and the Quadfather are battling and you're going off the top of your head and Earl's so whatever, blah, blah, blah. And I look at you and then I'm like, well, the Quadfather is this, that, and that. It's easier for me. So...
Yeah, the thing's supposed to be spontaneous. You can't just be, I'm picking these from a board. That doesn't work that way. You're obviously you're not. I don't know.
Well,
I mean, yeah, like you've been officiating the roast battles on MLC. What do you think of it? I mean, obviously they write down all their jokes to do that. Is that different, or do you see it the same way?
Well, I think in a Zoom roast battle, I would never do one just because, like I said, if I'm going to talk shit to anyone, it's going to be to their face. Like when you're in the same room, it's just a lot tougher to sit there and call someone fat when they can call you something right away. So, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I had one guy wish me bone cancer because I didn't vote for Ray. It's like, what?
I wish you
bone cancer. That's kind of specific. Jeez.
And I could tell he meant it. Like, you know, he's like, you suck on MLC. You're not funny, and I could deal with that. You know, that's fine. But then he's like, I hope you fucking die of bone cancer. It's like, what?
You should get cancer. You should only get cancer.
Because I had a friend of mine who died of bone cancer, and I went into, not to bring it down, but just like, you know, you would not wish that on anyone, especially because I didn't, you know, I said it was a tie, which I still stand by. But, you know, I think, I mean, someone called me DM'd me the other day saying Barry Ribs won the Pat Dixon battle. I'm like, what? Are you crazy? What battle?
Yeah, you would have to be insane to think that. Absolutely. I watched all of those roast battles, and yeah, I would say by far the worst performance was Barry. It's not even like a question mark, like you're saying. There's no doubt about it, man. That was bad. That was brutal.
But he was doing like that one joke he did. Pat's so ugly the doctor slapped his mom. Like,
yeah, the oldest joke that ever existed.
Yeah,
I think I literally heard that in the 3rd grade. Like,
yeah.
so. But
My dad used to tell that to me.
I mean, getting back to your question, like, if I ever did a Zoom battle, I would not have a cheat sheet. Like, okay, Quad Father is. I would look at you and I'd memorize everything.
My cheat sheet just looks like the book from The Shining, but it's filled with the N word.
I mean, that's a solid choice. Depends who you're battling, to be honest.
Yeah, I guess.
The blacks.
Yeah.
Stormy 499. This is for Lemmy only. I love you.
I love you too, Stormy.
No, it's for Lemmy only. Can't you freaking read or understand what I just said? Jeez.
Why does it always have to be about you, Mr. A? Jesus
Because it is.
Christ.
It's always about.
Keanu Thompson. Visconti says hi, but it's terrifying to me when he's distracted and watching TV in the car whilst driving. Also, Merry Christmas, dolls. Merry Christmas, everybody out there.
Christmas.
Absolutely. And I got one more here. Let me get to that.
Many times, many ways.
TJ Holly, Teamster Tim. You're never alone. If you hear the call, it's all for one and one for all. Merry Christmas, boys. That's
Merry
right.
Christmas.
Thank you very much, TJ. Appreciate it, sir. Absolutely. You're used to all this super chat reading while we do shows where you got to like MLC. What it's turned into is pretty much like a super chat reading show, period. That's like it. Whatever. I think Kevin Brennan's hilarious. What are your thoughts on Gino Visconti? I know people have put that to you like before, but I know you've been on his show more recently. I saw that. What's your thoughts now that you've had a chance to be on a show and meet him, or at least zoom in?
I mean, we're friends. I had him on the Comedy Store podcast once, and he dropped a hardcore N-bomb.
No.
And I'm like kicking him under the table, like, because I'm on an all-black cartoon. Like, I'm like, bro, like,
you trying to get him to say more?
The odds of anyone from the Jellies hearing this episode are low, but like, come on, bro. I mean, his style is to push buttons, and I get along with him. I get along with everyone until they give me a reason not to.
That's how it should be. As so it should be. Absolutely.
His kind of humor is compared to a monkey throwing his own shit.
I mean, I know that sounds like, what did Patrick Swayze say in Roadhouse? You be nice till it's time not to be nice.
Yeah.
That's how I am. I used to be friends with Jeff. And then, what happened. So,
yeah, exactly.
Like, that's, I'm friends with Kevin, Chad. I'm friends with all the controversial people. And, Shuley I'm friends with. So, don't burn me. I'm a great guy to you.
Hell yeah. How about, like, I know, what do you think? Don Rickles is probably the best roaster of all time.
Oh yeah. I mean, I was telling someone the other day, I think it's on YouTube under Don Rickles Live at the Sands, the old hotel in Vegas. And it's only like a 39-minute comedy album. But it's not only what he was saying, but the time period, that he was saying it in was pretty groundbreaking. Like the language and some of the racial stereotype humor he was doing. Like now it would be boring to kids.
Everyone.
But back then, he went for it. So he's definitely the greatest roaster.
He's a goer. Yeah.
Okay, so beyond Don Rickles, like, do you have a second and a third? That's kind of what I was curious about, because I almost think universally, like, Don Rickles is the best. I'm sure most people would say that.
I mean, Foster Brooks. If you got what he was doing, he was never drunk. He was just playing a character. And if you look at Foster Brooks roasting Don Rickles, it's the greatest 5-minute roast set. Nothing even comes close. But more modern day people, Greg Giraldo was great.
Yeah.
And
Tony Hinchcliffe, what do you think on him? He's pretty good or not up there?
he's good when he's the. I don't think Tony was that good at roast battle, but like roasting, he's good at. Like, because
like crowd work type roasting.
Well,
or picking people apart.
Yeah, I think he's like roasting's different than roast battle. Roast battle is a little more like one-on-one. Me and Father. Let's see who's better. One of us will tap out. But I think when you're roasting the celebrity, Tony's good at that because they're not going to really fire back at him, because they can't.
It was like the old Dean Martin road. They'd get up there and they'd stand. They'd each say their shit, and the other person just had to sit there and take it. He said, I love the commercials for those and shit. I don't know if it was Don Rickles or something, but one of them had the joke was like, his father's so drunk when he called for his dog, he'd whistle like this. Come here, boy.
I think you're talking about like the Rat Pack when the Rat Pack was getting roasted and like some of those that they used to show.
Yeah. Well, I think they were all friends. That's the difference between those.
Yeah.
Don Rickles look at Sammy Davis and go, either you're black or you fell into a bucket of M&Ms. It's like, what is happening? Like, what? But like they loved each other. Like the Tom Brady roast that's coming up for the Netflix festival, I guarantee you it'll suck because none of those people are friends with Tom Brady. Like they might get drunk, so that might be funny, but Jeff Frost doesn't know Tom Brady.
So having the inside information about people is where it's at. Like if you know things on them, then you can obviously use those against them. So it's almost imperative for like a good roast. Like I know. I think I heard you talking like all the guys that started the roast battles were all comics from the Comedy Store and etc. So like they all knew each other personally. So I'm sure those probably came off a whole lot better than, like you're saying, total strangers.
Yeah, like when I roast battle people, if they had an abortion, I would find the doctor. I'd find the fetus and go, okay, tell me about so and so. But I was a maniac. Like I'm. At that time, I was very competitive, and I'm going to beat your ass. But roasting, I think the Comedy Central roasts were never that good because, like the Pam Anderson roast, none of those people knew Pam Anderson. It was just, shitting on, okay, you're a whore. Okay.
Yeah.
Right, sex tape, etc. Tommy Lee, blah blah blah. You're got a cave. He's got a huge dick. Yeah, whoop-de-doo.
Yeah, it's really a roast. Yeah, you have a huge dick.
Yeah, that sucks. It is a lot easier when you know somebody to roast them. It's like with me and Derek. See, I know Derek, so I roast him really good. I'm like, Derek's legs are so shitty. They don't even work at all or something,
But see, if I were roasting Derek, I wouldn't do one joke about his physical situation because that's a fuck.
His physical situation is so shitty.
Let's see. You got to figure that Derek's waiting for the joke about, something about his legs, and I would attack people's comedy, because that hurts their soul. Like, when I was battling, I knew I was probably the oldest roaster in the room. So that's my dog talking.
Jeez.
So I knew there was going to be a lot.
Like you were saying, the appearance attacks. That's like low hanging fruit. Like, duh. Everyone can see I don't have legs. It's like whoop-de-doo.
Yeah. What if I compared his legs to Slim?
Me included. It doesn't bug me at all. Like, because obviously I know my legs don't work. So,
but it's coming.
A waste.
And I knew any battle I was in, it was going to be Earl's so old that blah blah blah.
That he thinks wearing visors is okay.
I love visors. Well, I have hockey hair right now, so I've got my head is so big, my visor's literally breaking.
Oh God!
Fucking, what can I do? That Santa hat would look gigantic on me.
You won't be able to fit into it. Yeah.
So
no, I think it's a good look, man. It's like you use it to cover up your big head a little bit. No, I'm not trying to roast you, but
I do.
I've heard you talk about.
I do have a big head, but the one thing,
exactly.
If you turn your biggest weakness, you can turn your biggest weakness into a strength. Like obviously for you, it'd be your situation. For me, it's my age. But anytime someone said I'm so old, I would probably look better than the person on stage, which is a very low bar to be a good-looking comic. So I might be old, but I'm going to outlive you, you fat fuck.
For me, it'd be my gaping asshole.
I just realized something also. This is an interesting fact. Gino Biscotti for $10. Earl Skakel equals hero Chindan, he's saying to you. He's got the glass of whiskey there. He also uses like those headbands to cover up like part of his head because he is losing his hair a little bit. So like he started wearing the headbands and whatever. It's kind of become part of his look. I don't know. I think the visor looks good on you, man. Stick with it.
I mean, I have to. It's either that or my big beanie I have. I don't know.
Beanies are good, except for you live in LA. It's probably way too hot to be wearing beanies all the time.
Well, I was sweating just now walking the dog because my condo's cold, so I put on a jacket and my beanie, and I was like trenching. It's like so.
If you wore a big giant cowboy hat, wouldn't that make your head look smaller?
No, that's Alex Stein's gimmick, man. I don't infringe on Stein 99.
Yeah, well, I see Pat Dixon wearing one too. So there's like two guys with cowboy hats in the entire Dabbleverse or adjacent thereof.
Those big giant foam ones, you know.
It's hard to keep up with it. You know, that's why like streaming, like I was like, okay, what time do I want to stream? And then it's like, well, Shuley starts at 6 a.m. my time. Melton's at like 9 now, and then you got Chad, and then Kevin, and then Pat Dixon, and then Ray. It's like at some point I got to go on, like so.
Yeah.
You know,
that's what it's really turned into. Just everybody just stream. Don't worry about who else is streaming because you're bound to like be overlapping with someone's show. So it's almost a waste to even try to keep up with all that.
Yeah, it's just a regular.
You know.
Right.
Like I would not go on Friday nights out of respect to you guys, just because.
Yeah. Woo! This guy gets it.
But I also don't fucking think you guys would mind if I took 12 people from. I mean, my streams.
No, that's all we have watching. So actually, we wouldn't mind that. So don't do that.
Mind very much. Earl.
Leave us our 12 viewers.
Sunday nights is my flagship Earl time. Like it's 7 o'clock my time. So, and then
now they got that Tukey soup, and that show's like blowing up so big. It's amazing how big that show's gotten.
Yeah, I mean. But I think the angle I'm taking is, I mean, I certainly would talk about the Dabbleverse, but it's kind of Dabbleverse light, you know, like we talk about other stuff like pro wrestling and all that shit.
Yeah,
so,
right. Yeah, well, that's a great segue. You must have known I was going to bring up your Ric Flair roast. So there's your wrestling overlapping with your comedy. I know you worked with Shuley to do this one.
That's where I met Shuley, and that's why I'm like, we bond. You know, when you do a roast like this, there's a lot of pressure on this. You know, there's 2,000 people in the room. They're all there to see Ric Flair, and no one really knew who any of us were in terms of the roasters. So the potential for bombing was great because you know. People are like, shut the fuck up. Stop talking. I don't think they got what a roast is about because, like, I had a few jokes that didn't go over well, but I'm like, hey, we're supposed to be saying bad things about Vicky Guerrero's pussy.
No.
Yeah.
Excuse me?
Oh, she was the best. Like, I apologized to her like 5 times after the roast. I'm like, I'm sorry. I'm a big fan, you know, and like, we developed an odd crush on each other just because she was so I don't know, she's awesome. So
excuse me,
you know.
Yeah, I don't know. So you did the roast with him, but I don't know if you got a chance to see when Ric Flair went on to kill Tony and had that kind of falling out, like left because he got all pissed off at what was going on with the comedian that came up on stage. I actually have it pulled up if you wanted to see it, but I don't. Did you get a chance to watch it?
I can't watch highlights from that show.
Okay.
I wasn't a fan of it. Just like they were like people would be like, "Well, what do you mean you were on the roast shitting on Ric Flair?" But like we were paying tribute to him at the end of the day.
Yeah,
and
in
I
essence.
thought, yeah, I mean, at the end of everyone's set, we were like, "Hey, I wish I was Ric Flair. I wish I had your career and your body and your money and your women and all that."
Yeah. Woo. I got a question though. Did anybody say this joke? Hey, Ric Flair, he doesn't do the figure 4 anymore. He does the figure 84. Because he's probably like 84 or something.
Let's just say I'm glad you
forgive my buddy, Mr. A.
Well,
No, I love Mr. A. I mean, I'm just saying I'm glad you're not my joke writer, but like I'm sorry. Lois is a little sick, so she's got a little cough.
Oh, Lois. Lois, what's wrong? Oh no. Sorry.
But it was awesome. I mean, Ric Flair was great. Like he came up to me at the end and he was pretty drunk.
Yeah.
My favorite one. I'm like, oh my God, like the sense of pride I felt. And he's like, thanks a lot, Ron. I'm like, my name's Earl. Like, there's no one named Ron on the whole roast. What the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah. Don't go and woo your pants, if you know what I mean.
But I mean, that was like a fantasy weekend for me. Like, because I'm 55, so like I started watching wrestling in the 80s. So like to get to meet Magnum TA, who was like my John Cena, like was like amazing, and to meet Lex Luger. And,
I've never heard of Magnum T. What is it? T.
Yeah.
Magnum TA.
T.
It's really sad story. He was they were grooming him to be like the next, like the good guy to Ric Flair's bad guy.
Okay. Ultimate
he got
Warrior.
into a horrible car accident, and he basically
shit.
doesn't anymore.
Oh.
So, but it led to maybe the greatest pop of all time in pro wrestling history. So, it was Dusty Rhodes and Magnum TA were supposed to fight the
American Dream.
They were supposed to fight the Horsemen. So, the night before, Magnum TA gets in a car crash, and he can't. He wasn't. He's in a wheelchair now. He's not quadriplegic, but I don't think he can move around too well. So Dusty Rhodes was the booker, and they needed to come up with a partner within 24 hours. So someone had the idea. Now this is right in the middle of the Cold War, 85, 86, to turn Nikita Koloff into a good guy. And Nikita Koloff was so into his gimmick, he changed his name to Nikita Koloff. He has an American name. He's from Minnesota.
Oh God.
He would only
change his name to the Warrior.
Yeah, I mean, kind of genius if you think about it.
Warrior says.
He was.
Yeah, if you want to get the real hate, you got to like really go all in on it, right? That's
like,
how it is.
Where he lived in Minnesota, he would only speak Russian. Like he really followed the gimmick. So, and you could find this on YouTube. I don't know if you can pull up a clip, but so the next night they're battling the Horseman, and Dusty Rhodes walks to the ring. Nikita Koloff's right behind him, and people think, oh, he's going to jump Dusty. And Dusty gets into the ring. He starts fighting the Horseman, handicap style, 2-on-1. And it was such good acting. Nikita Koloff stops at the edge of the ring, and he looks at the crowd, looks at the Horseman, looks at Dusty, looks back at the crowd, and the crowd's going nuts. And then he starts attacking the Horseman. And it's like, can you pull up that clip just to justify?
Oh God.
No, like playing WWF and WWE, they will like
really?
Yeah.
So it's like 100% guaranteed, like when you play WWF stuff that you get like,
well, it's not WWF. It's
yeah, like any wrestling, because WWE has like bought like the rights to every wrestling thing that has ever existed.
Yeah,
it's weird, man. Like you can look into it and try to play it on your YouTube thing. I guarantee it'll get popped every.
I'm just trying to sign on to fucking AdSense, man.
I know, it sucks, man. Because I've had a bunch of episodes we had to go clean up just because we played like 3 seconds of a WWF thing from Twitter, even not even
I mean,
from YouTube.
I keep bothering you. I say,
It's a
look at
pain.
Triple H's package. You gotta show Triple H's package. Come
Zoom in on it,
hold
right?
up.
Yeah,
I'm
that's all he
sorry.
ever wants. He just wants us to zoom in on his package.
I know. I'm sorry.
He kicked me out of the limo once when
Triple H?
I was dating one of the managers from
Yeah.
Motorhead. So, you know, they do Triple H's theme music. So we're in
The
this limo.
game.
It's just me, Triple H, and Stephanie, and I don't know where my girlfriend went, but he looks at me and goes, "Who's your favorite wrestler?" I'm like, "Oh, the Ultimate Warrior." And he's like, "Oh, I gotta go." Like,
I would have done the
Damn.
same thing.
Wrong
Are
act.
you ready to get the hell out of my limo?
so that's my Triple H story.
That's not
Yeah. Yeah, we try not to talk too much wrestling here. We do enjoy. Obviously, you knew Roddy Piper, which is like, if I'm into wrestling at all, that's like the one person that I ever cared about in wrestling. So it's just amazing. I've heard some of the stories you've told about knowing him and whatnot.
Oh, he was the best. Like this.
I know you said like he had an unbelievable knowledge of a lot of things, but I was curious, like comedy wise, was he a funny guy or is he just always super serious?
He was a good storyteller. You know, that's,
Storyteller.
You know, when he would come to the Comedy Store, you know, if you're above 35, you know, you grew up watching Roddy as a kid. So like when he came to the store, it was like watching Superman pull up in the car.
Yeah.
Right.
And he'd go.
Yeah, I'm 44, so I definitely fall into that category. Absolutely.
Why would I
Yeah,
pull
I mean,
up in a car? I fly places.
If you're younger than 35, you might not appreciate him.
Yeah.
I mean, wrestling is very generational. Like, you know, when I show people that Nikita Koloff clip who are younger wrestling fans, they're like, this is boring. I'm like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
I
quit
Thinking of wrestling.
watching wrestling because like those guys started not being in it. So you know, it just kind of dated itself out for me. So, but yeah, like the Hulk Hogan, Roddy Piper, Andre the Giant. Obviously, we all were insanely crazy about that stuff back in the 80s, 90s. But that came in.
Everyone that doesn't like wrestling now talks about that stuff, and I grew up with like the Stone Cold stuff, so I never got to see that, and I'm so big into wrestling. Anytime somebody mentions, they talk about the Roddy, the Hulk Hogan, all that kind of stuff. So now they got, you know, the WWE Network, so I'm watching all the old wrestling. I'm catching up, so I can actually see this shit, and it's pretty good. And Roddy, he does some promos, and when he's going up against somebody that, you know, might be African American or something, yay, they let shit go there. It's pretty
I mean,
good.
yeah, that was
it was different back then.
Yeah.
It was different times.
well, I mean, that was when he was battling a guy by the name of Bad News Brown, and who was like a legit real life ass kicker. Like, I think he won a bronze medal in the '76 Olympics for karate. Like, so he was not a guy to fuck with.
I think he called Kumala a spear chucker. So I don't know.
Well, against Bad News Allen, he was in half blackface.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And Bad News Allen was like, "What the fuck are you doing?" And I'm sure he might. I mean, I don't recall him calling Kamala that, but you know, I mean, Andre the Giant was known to drop an N-bomb.
But you couldn't tell anyways. Oh,
where was Andre the Giant from? I forget.
Noble, France.
France.
Oh.
That's right.
But like,
yeah, so yeah, being at the Princess Bride, that kind of tracks in, huh?
But going back to you know, the generations, like in that time frame of like in the mid '80s, you really thought Kamala was from Uganda.
Oh
like,
yeah.
no internet.
100%.
Yeah, we would have never known better. Now that now we got the internet, so that changed everything.
Oh,
now you can look shit up.
you smell worse than a. That's my Andre the Giant impression.
What are you, Gino Bisconti in that match?
Yeah. What are you, Gino or something?
So
no, and I know you were. I know you said that like Roddy Piper. There's a story where he was raped. Is that true? Is my hero?
I mean,
back in the 70s or something?
Well, there was rumors that you can go on YouTube and you talk about clips WWE wouldn't want you to air. Probably anything regarding Pat Patterson, who was
Right.
Yeah.
there's allegations, rumors, but nothing was ever
Confirmed
it's
and
tough to
whatnot.
prove that. Can you imagine? I mean, it's tough to prove that shit now with screenshots of Snapchats and oh shit, my TV just popped up. Sorry.
Yeah, no worries, man.
Do you think Roddy Piper was raped by Pat Patterson?
Well, no, I mean nobody
That's
knows.
the rumor.
Like that's the rumor.
I thought he was raped by girls. No,
Right.
Oh boy.
I mean, but it's hard to prove that stuff now.
Can't be raped by girls. That's stupid.
So,
Yeah,
can you
the
imagine
Kevin
in
Spacey
70s?
allegations, etc. Right. It's hard to prove that shit.
Kevin Spacey grabbed my cock and said, "I own you now."
I
said,
do
You sure
believe
do,
that.
Daddy.
That sounds true.
Yeah.
Well, it's like what Vin Diesel got accused yesterday of some kind of an assault to an assistant.
Being
But,
super cool.
Now
Wow.
you could probably find phone records of Vin Diesel's cell phone messages from 2011 and go, okay, did he text this girl? Did he send us dick pic? Blah blah blah. But if you're Roddy Piper in the 70s,
Yeah, there's no proof, right? Yeah, well, I just had never heard that before, and then I seen the interview that you did, and you talked about that, and that kind of blew my mind. I'd never heard that rumor before, and that was very interesting. I know you referenced another interview he did where, like you said, he totally shut down when it was brought up, and I will have to dig into that and find what was the name of that show.
I wish I knew. It's if you Google YouTube, there, just put
I want to Google
Roddy Piper, Pat Patterson. I think that interview comes up first, and you could tell it was like a normal, what they call in the wrestling world a shoot interview. Where they're not in character. They're, it's basically this. You're just answering the questions truthfully, and
right.
they're talking about Hulk Hogan. This match and that match, and then the guy was like, "Well, how about Pat Patterson?" And then you could just see Roddy's demeanor, like,
"He touched me! He touched my butthole!" Is that what he did?
Mr. A, quit talking about your childhood, please.
Oh my
Saint Ranger, 1959, $10. I used to super chat this. Still am now, but I used to too. Earl got Rocky Marciano's autograph in the late 1960s when he guest referenced a wrestling death match at the San Francisco Cow Palace. Merry Christmas. The Cow Palace.
Hey,
Wow,
great.
that's the old Golden State Warriors Cow Palace. Very famous.
yeah. I think that was the first arena the San Jose Sharks played in when they were not very
Right.
good.
Yeah, in the early 90s. Yeah, back to hockey, but we've had quite a few great battles in the last 15 years as far as the Sharks and the Kings. So we'll definitely have to talk more hockey sometime. Wrestling, I know you're into heavy metal, like you said. You mentioned Motorhead, but I know you're into like Slipknot and a bunch of other stuff too. I know we're creeping up on our hour time here, but I just kind of wanted to get back. What's that?
I got a few more minutes.
Awesome. Appreciate it. So back to the Comedy Store. I know that Mike Binder made that documentary. Okay, Binder.
He's a three-ring. I don't think it is. I'm just saying that because it's funny. He's not a three-ring binder. I'm sorry. I don't know.
Yeah. I watched that entire series. It was like a 4-part documentary. Whatever. It did it like in order from the 70s through the 80s, 90s, whatever, all the way up till now. Where Mitzi Shore, she died 2018, something like that. You started working at the Comedy Store when?
I got past there, I think, August of 2014. So basically, last 10 years.
Okay. Yeah. So you pretty much, did you ever get to meet Mitzi Shore or deal with her? I know you know Pauly Shore. One time you met her?
She was fading, at that point of her life. So I didn't even, she was not doing well. So I didn't want to meet her really. I mean, it was a very 10-second, hey, Earl, this is Mitzi. Mitzi, this is Earl. And I don't think she heard my name, you know. So I just walked, touched her hand, and left. You know, I didn't want to meet her, and that was not the version of Mitzi I wanted to meet. So
It's nice
Right.
to meet you. Can
Yeah,
you
we
give
hear
me
all the
more
stories and-
stage time?
people were
Yeah.
doing that. Like, I mean, people in LA comedy are fucking relentless. So like that did happen. So
Yeah.
I had,
So Paulie and Peter pretty much running the Comedy Store at that point. They still do.
Ollie, Peter, and Scotty.
Peter and
So
Paul.
I would guess Peter's the main boss, and I'm sure Paulie and Scotty have influence on decisions, but that I have no idea who's, and I would guess Peter's in charge.
Right. Well, Paulie had his whole other deal. He had his acting career, and he still does comedy to this day. When's the last time you've seen Paulie or worked with him?
Probably last week. I saw him at the Comedy Store, and
Wow.
you know, crowds
cool.
still love him. Like when he's usually a special guest, you know, they don't say, because you know he's got to work on new material too, so he doesn't necessarily want you know, people knowing he's going to be there. He wants it to be an organic surprise. So the crowd loves it. Anytime he's on, it's like a rock star energy in the room.
He's great. He was on one of the shows that I still listen to, Jim and Sam, one of the radio shows, and he's great. He came on, he's talking about all kinds of shit, and he's still funny and shit and interesting. So I like Pauly Shore.
I mean, look at the life he's led. I mean, he was famous in the '80s, like on the Sunset Strip. Like that's crazy. Like because I was there. Like you know, the Sunset Strip in the '80s is just like it's hard to explain. People who weren't there. It's like Vietnam. You were either there or you weren't.
I was.
In Vietnam or the Strip?
I was in the shit. Both.
You know, the Mekong Delta.
Oh, I thought I heard Charlie.
You know, what are you, Fred Ward in Uncommon Valor?
Maybe, if I knew who that was.
He's playing a guy who's playing another guy who's playing another guy.
I gotta say, my screen right now looks like an Amber Alert lineup with the four of us.
My bad.
Fair point. Fair point. I wore the hat so I could give out candy and it wouldn't be as suspicious.
I would hate to be a girl right now, scanning videos on YouTube, and you come upon this and go, "What the fuck am I watching?"
They'll come upon it. You know what I'm saying?
I get it. I get it. Yeah. So you started 2014.
Well,
did you get a chance to watch?
But like
the Comedy Store, whatnot.
Yeah, at the Comedy Store. I went there, and right around 2000, I thought, oh, you know, who doesn't want to start at the Comedy Store? Which was insane to look back now. You know, it's like someone who's never ice skated before going, I want to play in the NHL today. You probably should start somewhere else. And I saw Brody Stevens make an open mic comic cry. And I can't do a good Brody.
As a heckler or what? Or
he was hosting
on stage with him?
He was hosting the open mic, which was pretty dreadful back then. I mean, now it's so popular that, you know, industry shows up to watch the new comics. But back then it was really dreadful. And this kid had bombed, and he knew he bombed. You know when you bomb as a comic, it just, you know.
I know right now.
I mean, you're not bombing. You're not killing by any stretch, I'll be honest with you. I like Bobby. Bobby's more like the Undertaker. He pops in when he needs to.
Silent Bob.
This is what I do to my audience.
How many kids do you have in that room? I want to know, Mr. A. Like,
I can't tell you. It's not. I can't divulge that information.
Shut up down there.
Yeah.
So this kid gets off stage, and Brody goes, "Where are you from?" And the kid meekly said, "La Jolla." And Brody's like, "Well, that drive just got a lot longer." And I've never seen the kid since. Like, so I was like, I don't think I'm ready for this place. So that's why I can't say I started at the store, but I did one show and didn't come back for 10 years.
But you were around the scene and whatnot, so you probably got to meet and be around all the the happenings at the store? Did you get a chance to watch the documentary? Was it?
I mean, I didn't like it, but like, just there's a lot of people in it. I thought, well, you're not really a Comedy Store comic, but like, so I thought it could have been better. Like, and obviously, I wanted to be in it. When they did the roast battle segment, I thought,
Right.
well, I could, because roast battle was really the first show. There was a series of events. I don't want to bore people who aren't interested in the Comedy Store, but like, they fired the talent coordinator who nobody really liked, and this was a guy who was Joe Rogan didn't like him, so Joe didn't come to the store, which means Joey Diaz didn't come to the store, and it was like a total
Carlos Mencia or what?
Well, no, that was. I mean, Mencia actually did come to the store with this guy. So when they fired this guy, Joe came back, Joey Diaz came back, and a bunch of older comics, successful comics came back. Rob Schneider came back. And then Roast Battle was the first show where people were like, hey, you got to check out this new show. So it was really I guess you'd say a butterfly effect of this guy gets fired, Joe and all these comics come back, Roast Battle's happening. And it's been the #1 club in the country since. I mean, I guess now the mothership, but, 1 and 2, I guess.
Yeah, have you had a chance to go down to Austin and be part of that scene? I know a lot of stuff going on down there these days.
Yeah, I mean, I did Austin and maybe about 2 years ago before the mothership had opened, but I'm not really a fan of most of the people there. I didn't want to hang out with you people in Los Angeles. Why the hell would I take a plane to Austin? So, I think.
Well, I know there's quite a few different venues or whatnot, so I didn't know if you just didn't go to the mothership, but whatever, the Creek in the Cave, or I don't even know if that's open now that they've abandoned it.
No, there's Creek in the Cave. There's the Vulcan Gas Company. There's the mothership. Right. There's a place called Cap City, and tons of bar shows. But like in Austin, bar shows are like basically mobile comedy clubs, so they're really good. So, I've known a few of my friends who were door guys at the Comedy Store who, are making minimum wage. They moved to Austin. They're making 6 figures because you get paid at every gig. Like, it's crazy.
Nice.
So
nice.
But, I think a lot of comics think if they go there, Joe Rogan's going to make them famous. And it's like, no. There's only so many.
Famous, dummy.
So.
Yeah, Brian Redband's like step 1, right? Do you still get along with him and the Death Squad crew, or is that the entire thing it's just kill Tony for the most part? You don't?
Oh, I'm friends with Tony. Like we don't talk as much as we used to, but I'm good friends with Redband. That's where I stayed when I went there at his house, and one of my best friends is the booker of the mothership, so. I think I have a standing invite to play there, but I don't know. I just don't like a lot of the crowd there. So, like I said, I literally didn't want to drive. The Comedy Store is about 5 minutes from my house. I didn't want to drive 5 minutes to hang out with these people, let alone a 3-hour plane ride.
Halfway across the country. Yeah.
And maybe they don't like me. I don't know. Like, I'm too honest for this business. So,
yeah.
That rubs people the wrong way.
Yeah, speaking of which, if you want to be honest, you were saying like some of the people that shouldn't have been in there. Obviously, Jim Carrey. I don't know why they had Bill Burr in there. He's not much of a Comedy Store guy, right? Like that's totally.
No, he's a Comedy Store guy. He's there a lot.
Okay. So you went from Boston all the way out to Comedy Store. Like, how was that arc work out?
I mean, he definitely should have been. Bobby Lee's a store guy. Whitney's a store girl. Howie Mandel started there, but I wouldn't classify him as a store comic. Louis Anderson, he's a store guy.
He's dead.
Tim Allen never really performs there.
How about Neil Brennan? No, we got Neil Brennan right there, front and center. Dead. Yeah, what do you think about that one?
He's a store guy. He's there a couple times a week. Sebastian's, I mean, I remember seeing Sebastian in the OR in front of 10 people.
Neil Brennan looks like he had his jaw removed. That's a horrible picture. Look at that picture.
Yeah,
I mean,
well, if I didn't have a goatee, I might not actually have a chin either. So some of us aren't born with a manly chin, like Ray DeVito with your huge butt chin that's so strong and manly. That wasn't very nice.
I meant some of the newer comics they had on. It's like, well, you guys aren't really store people, but
Louis C.K. Is Louis C.K. a store person?
Yeah, like Annie Letterman. No, Annie Letterman, she's great. She's hilarious. I like her. Like, she's one of my favorite lady comics. Okay, that's what I was gonna say. Like Sam Tripoli. I know I've heard him tell a lot of stories about the crazy stuff going on, the goings on. I don't know if you were around with Sam Tripoli at any point.
Oh yeah, I mean, Sam. One of the great memories of the store was one night. Me and Don Barris, who, if you've ever seen the movie Windy City Heat, well, Perry,
Perry Caramello, absolutely.
We used to do basically a fake air band where Don is lip syncing, I'm playing chair drums, and one night we're doing that, and people would like it. It's like karaoke, Don would like lip sync to Third Eye Blind, and I'm playing drums on a chair. And one night, these two comics are arguing about who had the bigger dick.
Oh,
and Tripoli brings in this porn star who just happened to be on the patio, and she's like, "Well, let me suck both of you off on stage, and we'll see." So, and there was maybe 5 people in the room. So it was Ari Shaffir and Dan Madonia. And so the visual of me and Don doing this air guitar, basically karaoke thing, and this completely naked porn star blowing 2 guys on stage. Neither one could get hard. And I don't blame them. I mean,
stage fright.
Oh, 100%. And Tripoli's like the announcer, and within 5 minutes, the room filled to capacity. Like, it went from literally 5 people to 200. It was like that
and then
shampoo.
Their balls filled with capacity.
I mean, it was, remember that old shampoo commercial where it was like, you tell 2 people, then they tell 2 people, and then before you know it, the whole room's filled. And
they were still getting blown on stage. All these people were piling in. They still had their dicks out and getting blown.
So I'm doing the chair drums going like this. Ari Shaffir is right next to me, and this girl's yanking on his dick like a slinky. And Ari's like, "I'm sorry, I can't get hard. I'm really sorry." And this girl's like, "It's okay, baby. I'm a professional." And she's like yanking on his dick like an Abba Zaba bar.
He gets naked all the time. I think he wouldn't have stage fright. Jesus.
Well, I judged Naked Roast Battle with Ari, and he's out of control. But and then the girl stayed on.
Big one.
He's got big balls. Like his balls.
That's what I heard. Big balls, but his dick. What was his dick?
Yeah, that doesn't translate to extra pleasure for her. It doesn't. It's more of just a useless thing.
I got big balls too. That don't mean shit.
That you do.
He's got a small dick.
Well, I mean, I can't say he has a big dick or not because his balls are so big. Like, it's hard to like.
It retreats inside the sack. His dick goes inside there and disappears.
You gotta see it. It's like trying to describe the Eiffel Tower to someone who's blind. It's like undescribable.
It's a big.
And then the girl stayed on stage for another 40 minutes completely naked with Sam acting like Phil Donahue fielding questions from the crowd. And, that's so, yes, I have memories with Sam. That's the best one.
Yeah. Like he tells a bunch of stories out of school, I guess is what they would say, but whatever, the back rooms and the crazy goings on. Yeah, definitely the porn stars hanging out. I do believe he's mentioned that quite a few times. So, like, did you more commonly hang out with the chuckle fuckers or the porn stars? Did you have a lot of that going on? I know there was like people call it the dark period at the store, and like that's kind of when the crazy shit was happening. Is that like mid 2000s?
2000 to probably right around that time period came with Roast Battle and Rogan coming back. it was just a very, a lot of nights the main room wasn't even open. It was just shows in the original room, and a couple shitty bringer shows in the belly room. And now it's like you go up there tonight, the main room will be sold out 2 shows. The original room's sold out. Belly room's probably got 2 shows sold out. I'm on the main room tomorrow night. It'll be definitely sold out on a Saturday night. So it's just, it's a little different energy pre or post pandemic, just because a lot of headliners moved. But there's a whole new wave of younger comics like Kelly Ryan and Bruce Gray, who are like in their 20s and, carrying, and selfishly, I get to more spots because, I'm one of the few comics. Like tomorrow night, I have to do an hour in the main room. So
Oh, wow.
there's not a lot of comics who can do that. Like,
No.
An hour, like you get an entire. What time of night do you do that? An hour.
in my spots at midnight. So, because they get a lot of late arriving crowd. So, Saturday night people go out to dinner or nightclub and, hey, let's finish off the night at the Comedy Store. So you have to have someone who goes on last be able to do half hour, 45 minutes, an hour to, because they haven't gotten their drinks. So, it's not an easy spot. And there's only a few of us who get to do it, like me, Brian Holtzman, who is an older comic, and that's coming from me, and I'm an older comic. He's I think Bill Burr produced his special. Like you have to see Brian Holtzman if you're ever in LA or Austin. He makes me look normal. So it's an honor. They call it the Kinnison spot because that's the spot Kinnison used to get, and then it was the Brody spot, and then Brody passed away. So now it's either the Holtzman or the Earl spot.
Nice, man. Is that the last spot? That's the last spot of the night, midnight. Like,
yeah,
you could pretty much...
yeah. So there's 2 typically on a Saturday night. There's an early show, which I think is like from 8 to 10, and then the late show is 10:30 to midnight. And I think it's 5 comics on each show. So, and then the last comic, you don't have to do it, but the club would be pissed if people hadn't gotten their drinks yet. And you're like, okay, guys, that's the show. Good night. So it's not an easy spot because it's by that time, by tomorrow night at midnight, every joke has been told in that room. Trump jokes, Biden jokes, any crowd work has been done. So you have to really come up with a good strategy set to keep them engaged.
Yeah, to like separate yourself from the others, whatnot.
Yeah, but I do that with the leather pants, all that shit.
Right, taking the shirt off. Yeah, you're like one of the few comics that go shirtless. Bert Kreischer's is one. You're obviously not in the same size arena. Like he could actually fit an arena, barely. But you're a little bit better shape. As the thumbnail, I made the thumbnail with your shirt off, so all the chicks will see that and drive them wild.
I mean, I was doing shirtless comedy long before Bert, but it's pretty silly to argue. No, I created taking the shirt off. Like,
That's what I was gonna say. Exactly. Yeah, he stole my gimmick. That son of a bitch. Right.
So, I still take the shirt off. I mean, at midnight at the Comedy Store, you got to do anything to get their attention, and then hopefully the jokes keep their attention. But initially, I'll come out to Judas Priest or
right,
some bullshit, and most nights it works out pretty well.
Yeah. How about the Rockers? Do the Rockers ever show up to the Comedy Store? Is that a thing, or it used to be a thing for sure?
I mean, it's not quite like back in the day when Paulie was performing and, Rat would be in the crowd and Vince Neil and Kiss. Although Gene Simmons does come to the store quite a bit. I think the last
Gene Simmons from Kiss.
Does he live in LA? Sounds like it.
He does. And then last time I was there, just by happenstance, Alice Cooper's band was in the crowd. So, I mean, there's always someone in the crowd who's famous.
Yeah.
I might not know who
LA lifestyle.
Like there was some young black kid the other night heckling me, and I had no idea who he was. And so I
that turned
started.
out to be Dave Chappelle.
I've had to follow Dave Chappelle. It's not easy.
Yeah, I bet.
Oh shit!
But if you're
Yeah.
funny, you can follow anybody. Like, and I had the best. I mean, it was a packed main room show, and it gets when Dave's on, people. It's like the shampoo commercial. One text, "Hey, Dave's at the Comedy Store."
Yeah.
And so he calls me to the stage because I thought he was going to do like 2 hours.
Fucking shampoo.
So I'm about to get into my car, and the manager's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm not going to wait 2 hours to go on at 2 in the morning." He's like, "No, he's calling your name right now. Get up there." He only did like 10 minutes, which is unheard of. So I run to the stage, and I got 400 people staring at me, going, "You got one joke to keep us." That's what they were non-verbally saying to me. So, guys, I know what you're thinking. Who's going to be able to follow Dave Chappelle? I'm like, I am, because now I feel like the Chinese guy who follows the black guy in a gangbang. And the whole room blew up, and not one person walked. And so I did like 20 minutes, and it's tough. Like to follow the
Chinese guy can do good after a black guy in a gangbang. Miracles do happen.
Well, I mean, when you're asked to follow the greatest comic of all time, arguably, you better have a good opening joke, because if you don't, half that crowd would have left. Like, okay, fuck this guy. I don't know who this guy is. What's wrong?
Yeah. So who are some of the biggest killers you had to follow, or just whatever you got to watch over the years? It sounds like a lot.
Chappelle's probably the biggest one. And then one night, I was, supposed to go on at like midnight. Joey Diaz was going on at like 10:30, and Joey's probably the toughest comic in the world to follow, because it's just the energy he sets in the room. It's like an acoustic band trying to follow Kiss. It's just like, man, you guys better be good musicians. So I get to the club early, and so there's 5 comics between me and Joey, and none of them were there. And the manager's like, "Hey, you got to go on after Joey," which no one really likes doing, because he's super hard to follow. Like it's almost impossible to follow him, which is why I always respected Rogan for bringing Joey out on the road. And so Joey brings me up, and Joey saved me because he gave me a really nice intro. He's like, "This guy's an LA legend," and blah blah blah. And so the crowd, an intro is key. Like he could have gave me a shitty intro, and the crowd would have walked. This guy, I've never seen him go up. I hear he's got a big dick. Give it up for Earl. So like Dave, to be honest with you, didn't give me the greatest intro. He just kind of stumbled through my name, and so I could tell the crowd. If that gangbang joke didn't work, I would have been playing to an empty room. So
yeah. Some other famous people you might have followed. Do you ever work with Ray DeVito or Chad Zumock? Do you get to travel around with those great comedians?
I've never followed or been on a show with either. I'm trying to think anyone. I've never been in a room with Kevin Brennan. We've never met in person.
You probably got to see his picture on the wall everywhere you go, though, I would assume.
I don't think he's passed at the Comedy Store. Not because he shouldn't be, but he's a New York guy. So
yeah, he just hasn't traveled out there.
Yeah, like I'm not passed at the Cellar, but I've never tried.
Right.
Like the only time I've been in New York doing comedy was at the Stand, which I loved. So I've never performed with Ray, and I've known Chad for probably 15 years, but I don't think we've ever been on a show together.
Do you have any stories about Brian Regan? Ever met Brian Regan?
I mean, I'm not a dirty comic, but I'm not exactly clean. He does 100% clean. So
yeah,
I can't imagine him or I ever being on the same show.
Okay.
Family appropriate.
Yeah.
Exactly.
All right.
I'm not dirty, but I do I'll tell him Michael.
I mean, the name of your Patreon is Inappropriate Earl, so I think the moniker Inappropriate pretty much says everything for you, right?
Well, it's just so weird.
Oh,
he fits in.
Called Inappropriate. I mean, it's called Inappropriate Earl, but it's actually quite appropriate. I don't ask too many wacky questions.
Yeah, from what I've seen, it's not that bad. I'm throwing that out there for you. A little mini plug.
I've had people. Thank you for that. Turn down doing it because they're like, "Oh, it's inappropriate. You're not going to ask me wacky questions." Like, I asked this one wrestler who, I don't want to blow him up, but he's basically a reborn Christian now. He's like, dude, I don't think so.
Ken Shamrock.
I've seen your comedy.
Hulk Hogan. Hulk Hogan's a reborn Christian. That's probably who it is, right?
Nope.
It was
Shelton Benjamin.
He's who knows? I mean, I would interview Shelton Benjamin or Norman Smiley. The Wit.
Oh, did you get to see Hulk Hogan on Theo Von?
I don't watch other people's podcasts just because I don't want to steal ideas. Like,
oh yeah.
So if I ever had Hulk Hogan,
do you not watch like other people's comedy too? Like I've heard people say that they try not to listen to other comedians because they don't want their ideas in their head, and then accidentally like repeat a joke later and be like, "Oh, where did I get this premise from?" And then realize you actually stole it.
100%. Like I've known Tony Hinchcliffe for 15 years, and someone asked me the other day, "Do you think his stand-up is good?" I'm like, honestly, I've never seen it, and it sounds like I'm trying to get out of Spain. Whether I think he's actually funny or not, but I've never seen him do, because I don't watch stand-up. Like, and me and Tony have been on some lineups together, but I don't watch the comics before me because like you just said, I don't want to, like, let's say I'm on the show with the Quad Father and you have a joke about, I don't know, Michael Jackson, then that's
Michael Jackson went into Kmart the other day and bought a pair of pants. He heard that little kids' pants were half off.
Hello. Hold on. I want you to do that joke one more time. I have a sound effect. Let me cue it up.
No, he's put me on the spot. Fuck, no, not this.
Do it. God damn it.
Hold on.
I heard Michael Jackson. I saw Michael Jackson in the store the other day. I heard he went into Kmart because he heard a little boy's pants were half off.
Oh, why would he want to buy a little boy's pants?
Oh,
yeah, I shit my pants. I shit the bed. I shit everything. I know. I'm aware.
Mr. Ray, you stepped on my sound effect. Godfather, say that joke one more time. It gets
no!
Do it again. Do it again. Go on.
I heard Michael Jackson was in Kmart the other day. He heard little boy's pants were half off.
Sorry.
That sounded like a raunchy one.
We're doing it. We're doing it live, folks.
Hang on, where's my sound effect? Say it again.
Thank you, Mr. I think I like Mr. A's attitude towards my jokes a whole lot better than yours are.
Mr. A, I gotta go, but Mr. A, do one joke for me. Anything. I don't care what it is.
Okay. My cat always makes things from scratch.
Yeah. Fuck your punchline and the punchline you wrote in on. That's right. You don't get to finish your joke. Well, actually, if you did your punchline now, it'd even be funnier. See, exactly. Everything coming out of my mouth is shit. Can't you tell?
Bobby Nick, do you want to do a joke just to complete the circuit?
Just for literal shits and giggles? Literal shit.
I don't even have a joke.
See, that was hilarious. It ended up being a joke, Bobby Nick. See, you did good.
Look at that.
That was good. We worked
Pat myself on the back for that one.
I'm making up a joke right now. Let's try it out.
Yeah.
Okay. My mother had so many abortions.
How many did she have?
It's like I'm a fucking ghost or something.
Oh god, this is the Sixth Sense, or is this shit sense?
Too bad she didn't have one more.
I don't know. I was saying I'm one of them.
Another one. That's right. Yeah. Thank you very much for coming on, Earl. Go ahead and do plugs to all 12 of our viewers at this point. You can find Earl Skakel, YouTube, Twitter, and Patreon. You just got to search Earl Skakel or inappropriate Earl. Either one works.
And I might have to
anything you got coming up
there to figure out how to register for AdSense. I'm obsessed with getting on that fucking thing. Yeah. I'll be at the Comedy Store tomorrow night. At midnight.
Midnight tomorrow night. That's Pacific time. Of course, because it's weird doing podcasts where you pretty much only talk to people on the East Coast, and you pretty much only get to reference time as if the East Coast is the only thing that matters in anyone's life. Yeah. But that's just kind of the way it is.
No, I know. It's like when I stream, I'm like, okay, do I tell people my time, which would be 7 my time Sunday night, or should I say 10 p.m. East Coast time? But then there's people in the Midwest, so
it's weird. It is weird. It's a pain. I pretty much, like I said, you and like Hack Ride and like Zero Dark Tony and DG. There's like 5 guys on the West Coast out of the whole Dabbleverse that I could think of offhand, and it's like I always am well versed in the East Coast time. That's for sure.
Now, what happened before I go? Did the Total BS show stop doing their show?
Yeah, I believe so. I don't. Did you followed it? You like their coverage of the Dabbleverse and whatnot?
They were like the rock and roll version, I guess, of Steel Toe. I mean, but
yeah, fair enough. I mean, I don't think it has anything to do with what is it, Shayna and
the beard.
Oh,
right. No, I think like he got a regular job or something, and they're just way too busy, etc. Like it was creeping into their time for their real life. So I think and they weren't like. I don't think they caught on maybe quite as good as they were hoping for, like a steel toe type program where it would pay for itself in the long run. Maybe that was kind of the issue too. So whatever, it does seem like they've stopped completely. I had noticed that myself.
All right, well,
and I never actually watched to see what the reasoning on it was.
I mean, the honor was all mine, boys. Let's do this again.
Yeah, absolutely, man. There's so much interesting stuff to talk to you about. I appreciate it, brother.
Yeah, for sure. Very nice to meet all you guys informally, and I'll see you guys soon.
Thank you for coming on.
Thank you.
Bye, boys. Have a good night.
Peace.
Merry Christmas. Oh, he's gone.
Merry Christmas to you. Yeah.
So
if you guys want to BS for a second, I can let my dogs out, and then we will continue if that's good with you guys.
Sure, why not?
There's more to talk about.
Now, Mr. A.
Hey, so
how much have you shit today? Let's get that out.
I don't even think I can. I might be over exaggerating. It's hard for me to think right now, because of the drinking and the smoking thing. But let's see. Did I shit in the morning when I woke up? I don't think so. No, that was the other day. So no. So it wasn't till. No, maybe it was once before that. Yeah. I think I did do it in the morning. I don't know. So that's book 1, and then 2, and then to lunch was 3, and then before this is 4. So I think maybe 4 or 5 times. So when I sent you that message before, I might have been exaggerating. So it was only like my 4th. So maybe like 5 times I shit. And my asshole just got raw. And like at the last shit, my ass just needed to spit out the rest. Like that's what my asshole sounded like. Literally.
Maybe you need one of those bidets, something wet, so you can get your butthole nice and wet.
Well, I did, yeah. In my last shit, I made sure I went down there and fucking I have butt wipes or dude wipes. Oh, Fraggy!
Oh, it's Fraggy!
Hi, Fraggy!
They get a Frankie Christmas edition Frankie Down Bobblehead. I just sent it to you through Twitter chat earlier.
Oh yeah, okay. I'm gonna get one.
Yeah.
I asked for 3 of them for Christmas.
Let's look this up.
People can pre-order it right now.
That's right,
Oh.
folks. I'm getting there. I'm getting there,
That
Frankie.
sticks.
Frankie, stick with us. What's going on with you? Where are you at tonight, Frankie? What are you up to, buddy?
I'm hitting the dualies.
You're
Oh,
walking there now. You're gonna go sing some karaoke, or what's on the agenda for you?
I'm hitting the dualies.
He's
Right.
going to dualies,
Are you gonna
folks.
sing?
He's going to dualies.
Okay. There's your bobblehead, Frankie. What do you think of your bobblehead? Yeah, it is great so far, isn't it? You're right. It's doing great.
Oh, it's
so far.
talking one. It's a talking one. Nice.
Yeah, what's it say? What does it say? Let's hear.
I heard.
Oh,
something.
wow. What else does it? Let's hear some other things it says.
No.
Wow.
And also it says, for example,
Oh, that's a nice caroling
that's
song.
neat. Let's say, Frankie, you started the fire. What would your doll say? What would your bobblehead say if I said,
No.
Frankie, you started the fire?
I think that's broken now.
Okay.
I wish his Christmas sweater said something else. You know, I thought he wore a different Christmas sweater.
I did start the fire.
Oh.
He did start the fire.
Frankie, you're dating girls well under 20?
Not true.
Oh, wow. Okay. I'm glad to hear that, because anything under 20 is illegal in Sydney, Nova Scotia, from what I understand.
He's gone.
What the hell, man? Why couldn't he just leave us on with him while he walks down the street? That would have been so much better.
Yeah, I know.
But
I want to see his.
For the next proposed Frankie McDonald talking bobblehead, can we just send them all of our drops and get them to put them into there?
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
The blacks.
The F and N. Yeah, we won't even do the F and N's here now that we have filled out our AdSense, and that makes good sense, dollars and cents. Yeah, absolutely.
Fun neighbors.
The house next door to me was sold to Frankie.
Fun neighbors. F.
Oh.
Oh yeah. Okay. I was just looking at the chat. There's nothing interesting. Never mind.
Yeah, I know. I was trying to catch up with everything.
Oh, my butthole. I was talking about my butthole. Hang on, I didn't finish about my butthole.
No, don't do that.
So what I did to make my butthole feel better, I had these dude wipes, you know, and I wiped with one and I kind of dabbed it, but then I took, I'll rip them in half because I heard they're bad for the sewer system, and I'm conscious to the environment. So I ripped my dude wipes in half, and I'll use the one, and then I'll kind of wipe some more, and then I get another one. But I took this other one and I just stuck it in my butthole, and then I got up and I walked around with it in my butthole, and it was a nice moisturizing dude wipe. Get my butthole all moisturized because it's raw. It still is good. I can't touch it. It's in healing right now.
Can't touch this.
Why can't you just go and suck some cock like a normal person?
I know, but my asshole can't do that. It doesn't have a tongue. My asshole has a tongue.
Analingus?
Man pond.
You want a tongue kiss my asshole? Oh yeah, my man. It was a fucking dude wipe man pond.
Yeah.
I always wondered about that. I'm glad somebody made a word for that, because I always wanted to bring that up, because I did that when I was a kid sometimes. If I didn't feel like wiping or something.
No, that was just your finger, Mr. A.
Oh, no. But I would I think I remember when I was young I did it at a restaurant because I think I was in the bathroom too long. So I bundled up and I didn't even do it right. I just fucking balled it up and I stuck it in my ass, and I'm walking around and I feel like Daffy Duck with a little duck tail sticking out of my ass. That's all I could think of. That's why I didn't want to call it a man pound. I'd call it the Daffy Duck tail. But you wouldn't do that. You wouldn't just ball it up like an idiot. You'd fold it and shit. Cause that's how you wipe your ass, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Nobody does that. That's how kids.
Right. That's what you would do.
That's how you think you're supposed to wipe your ass, though. When you're a kid, you just ball up the toilet paper and shove it in there. I didn't do that. I knew somebody that would do that, and I was like, no. I was always a folder.
The black one.
Yeah.
Yeah, so did Jim Stansel invent the man pun, and now you stole his word? Very much along the lines of what Earl Skakel was saying about taking his shirt off, and now Bert Kreischer does it. Freaking thief. You know who doesn't take their shirt off?
Ooh.
The blacks.
Oh.
Let me show you this guy.
I didn't steal it. I did that as I was a kid. I called it. I didn't steal the word because I wanted to call it Daffy Duck because it feels like a little duck tail coming out of your butt. Actually, it feels more like a cottontail because it's, I don't know. Whatever.
Coming out of where?
Your butt.
No.
Your butt?
Butt plug?
No, it's unfortunate that Earl had to leave so soon because I actually had more questions about, butt plugs, but also about, well, actually, that's a great segue, butt plugs, because we were going to bring up Chad Zumach, who was, I saw that there was some news about him and producer Joe getting together. Apparently, they are now I don't know. I'll show you, and you guys make up your own minds. I saw this on the internet, so it has to be true. Anything on the internet is true, as we've learned over the years. This is that guy that won't take his shirt off because, like, he thinks I want to see him with his shirt off, but apparently he's been seen with, who's this guy? Producer Joe. Wow.
It's a Joe. Yeah.
Is this true? They're at a Pride event, huh? Together? Are they holding hands? It kind of looks that way, doesn't it?
Kind of.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
I'm just focused on.
Don't hold back with the commentary. I mean, is there anything you guys see that might be suspicious? Do you think that they're possibly? Wait. What's that in the background? Is that a Pride event? Are they at a Pride event together, holding hands?
You need me to fuck you straight?
Wow. And he doesn't have his shirt off because he won't take his shirt off. Because why? Because he's got some issue we'll never fucking find out because he's scared of it and he tries to throw it back on me when I bring it up. It's ridiculous. I said, why don't you just take your shirt off? He went swimming with his shirt on.
And turn
Exactly,
them
Bobby. Right, yeah. Bobby. Yeah, very good point. You do that.
That's my superpower. Goddamn right.
Yeah, we learned. We know you stand out in front. Oh, no, wrong one. There we go. Yeah, we do have footage of you also. What do they say? Enjoying your pride legs. What's up with the socks anyway? Bobby, yeah, we know you're a fruit. It's fine, dude. What's up with the socks? What the fuck are those? What are you wearing? Stocking? Who are you stocking? Little boys or full-grown men?
No, other men. And yeah, I had my fun, and I'm recovered from that now.
Do you like nipple play? You like just twiddling your nipple there?
No.
Oh, Sure, looks like it. It looked like you just kind of squeezing your nipple and twiddling it for a long time.
Well,
yeah, it did.
Maybe I used to.
Yes, it did. Yes, it did.
Yeah, there's some things once you see you can't unsee. Who also, we were talking about Roddy Piper. There's that movie They Live. Did you know they did a remake of it?
No.
With Elon Musk is actually the lead character in the movie.
Oh, cool.
I didn't know. I didn't know. Is there any trailer to it or something?
Yeah. It's funny you asked that, Mr. A. It's almost like you were doing an exact perfect segue for me to bring this up.
Yeah,
wow.
Kind of looks like a face. Never mind. Let's just.
No, it's Elon Musk. Obviously. What are you, stupid or something?
Elon Musk, yeah.
You can't tell that that's Elon Musk?
His neck looks like he kind of did a bunch of steroids or something, but go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, Elon Musk is a very fit and strong, very muscular man, isn't he?
All right, yeah.
We'll go with that.
I mean, we've seen him with his shirt off. He's very muscular, much like Patrick Melton and Chad Zumach. Very similar.
Okay.
Very fit.
Kind of, sort of.
There's a fiddle. Let's go. Let's check it out.
Let's go.
That sign says obey in real life. And wait a minute. What the Oh. Fox and CNN. Oh no.
I mean, can we hold on, we got to get this in here. I mean, look at the hair game, dude. Elon has an amazing. I didn't know he had this much range. I didn't realize that he could grow that beautiful of a mane. I mean, that's a wild horses.
Well, I mean, it could
drag
just
me
be
away from Roddy Piper.
Could just be a wig for the remake. You know, it's a movie. Could be movie.
Maybe.
Why are you crushing my dreams, dude? Like, them locks are off the hook. I think he's probably been growing these in secret all along. We just were unaware of it.
I think something else crushed your dreams a long time ago. Don't blame me.
The black.
You remember when Earl Skakel was talking about saying roast jokes that really hurt? I think that's what he was talking about, because what you just did there was not nice. It was uncalled for, and I don't appreciate it very much. I would hope that in the future, in my soul, I felt that everywhere. Just not in my legs. Everywhere but my legs, I felt that.
Oh. How they do that? Because I know you know. That's how they...
So that makes it okay. You're normalizing hate.
Yeah.
Normalizing hatred.
Yeah.
We roast the ones we love the most. That's the way it goes.
Roast the most? I like it.
The black.
Your butt. And you didn't know it. Come to the Caribbean. Yum.
And what does it really say? Put the glasses on, Elon. Marry and reproduce.
Sounds fun.
Yeah.
At least the reproducing part.
Oh boy, this is a long trailer.
The not pulling out part sounds great. That's my favorite thing.
Oh yeah.
Never wear rubber. Never pull out. That's the rules. No independent thought.
Consume. Oh well. Huh, what the hell? What about those assholes? Oh. Doesn't really look like Elon there. With
That's Elon Musk. What are you talking about?
Okay, all right. I don't know. Did they change? Can you maybe pause it on some of those books? I don't know if maybe they changed it for this remake.
Obey, obey, obey.
No thought. Okay. What about
marry and reproduce.
Doubt
humanity. Consume. No ideas. Follow. Yeah, give me a follow. Right. Speaking of which, give us a follow, give us a like, and a subscribe. Sorry, Mr. A, I'm stepping all over you, aren't I?
Oh no, it's okay. I'm still just reading.
Go for it.
No, it's fine. We got it all. We got it all. Watch it. Watch our show. Watch it.
Watch our show. Yeah. Actually, we need more subliminal messages in this show. Like, we should have, like, our background should be one subliminal message to make people like stuck on our show so they would never leave, become part of the team, leave their cults that they are already joined to, and come join our team. We're not a cult, we're a team. We do have Kool-Aid though. Come enjoy.
Has anyone tried to do that?
It's piss.
Figure out if there's YouTube laws against subliminal advertising. If we could flash something, watch BYB.
Yeah. Well, hey, Mr. A, we need less flashing on this show, honestly. Oh, I think we've had plenty of flashing. Yeah. No, don't pull it up.
No. But my penis says watch BYB.
Tommy, quit playing with your dinghy.
Smoke. Okay, go ahead. You smoking yet?
Oh, you were saying smoke to that guy, weren't you? I get it. That's hilarious.
Is that Scatman?
Stay asleep. Submit.
Submit. Ooh. He doesn't do that, not as a wrestler. Golf. What does that one say? Obey, yeah. Stay asleep, obey. Bye. Watch TV, all right. Nothing wrong with that.
Anyway. Oh, wait. That's right. The important part.
What's your problem?
Is it Joe Biden? Ah, I guessed it.
What's your problem?
Come on, man.
What's your problem, man?
I did not see this. I have never seen this. I fucking guessed that. Did you see that? I fucking guessed that.
He did. Good job.
What's your problem, man?
Come on.
What are you looking at, fat? Fat. No, come here. You look 17, young lady.
Hey, put those glasses back on. I'm gonna pedal out of here. Whoa.
Corn Pop was a bad dude. He looked like Elon Musk. He looked like Roddy Piper. He was a bad dude, and he ran with some bad boys. And if you rub my legs backwards, the little black kids, they like to rub my legs. They like to see my little blonde hairs in the pool. They like to touch me.
That's what he said.
And then Corn Pop, he met me in the parking lot.
Oh, what do you want to do?
Fucked him in the ass.
Well, I had to get my chain. Well, see, he ran with a bunch of bad boys, and they had switches. They had switchblades.
Oh.
So I went and got a chain, and I was gonna beat that. But
no, I don't have a beep. That's all I have. I don't have a beep. Should have got the beep.
As Joe Biden probably said in the 70s, I'm gonna beat that new. Ding, ding, ding.
Put y'all back in chains.
Bobby Nick, come on, get on the fucking bell.
Oh, there it is.
I don't know.
Give us the ding, ding, ding.
Oof. All right.
Jesus Christ, you are fired. Someone else needs to buy a bell now and do the bell for us, because that is unacceptable delay.
Yeah, but I'm
every time a bell rings, an N-word gets its wings.
Oh, he gets his rings that he stole. What?
He gets its dings.
Oh,
we didn't say anything bad. It's okay. It's fine. It's fine.
Good.
It's fine.
I'm under the influence.
Yeah. Yeah. I want to show some footage of you before the show and why you're having such a hard time tonight.
Oh, okay. I should explain it. I don't feel good.
I don't feel retarded.
I'm gonna get sick. I'm gonna get sick. Uh-oh.
Sick of what? Don't get sick, bro.
I'm gonna get sick. I'm gonna. Don't say it. Go ahead. What are you showing? Show something. Show something.
All right. Well, I was just listening to it because it actually has Cypress Hill, which will get us a copyright strike. So I do have to definite. I know every time we go to do something, it's ruined by the TOS. As we all know, the TOS is bullshit and sucks. No, not the blacks. Come on, it has nothing to do with black people unless they run. I think it's the other people that run YouTube, not the black.
Yeah.
The one. No, not those ones. No, God. No, not those ones either. Come on, get your mind out of the gutter. It's the
Jays. The Jays.
No, yeah, like a marijuana. Yeah, smoke a J, like those guys, right? Like that? Is that what you meant?
No.
Like these guys.
Frankie, how many Jews died in the Holocaust?
None.
See, that's that they all run YouTube because none of them died in the Holocaust. That's great. Actually, that's very good news. I always thought that a bunch of them did, but that makes me happy to know that none did. So thank you, Frankie, for the update. Yeah, blew my mind. So this is what you were doing before the show, huh? I actually have footage of it. So just to let everyone know, this is Mr. A filming this sequence. That's why you don't see him. But this is what it looks like when you prepare for the Backyard Boys podcast.
Oh, yay.
What do you think of that, Mr. A?
Yeah.
That was a fun time, but right
You feeling
now
it?
I'm not. Like,
You're not feeling so good.
the come down is like really sickening.
What the cum? Where's the cum coming down? The back of your throat?
Down my ass.
I'm gonna come.
I'm gonna come.
Yeah.
Ow.
I don't know.
I just punched my computer.
That seems a little extreme. I don't know if I
I
like
have
it.
to pull my brain out. Fuck.
All right. Well, Mr. A, I don't think you're gonna have any plugs, but I think our buddy. Let's see. So you guys are both back in the good graces of the at No Filter.
That's right. That's right. So yeah, check out No Filter with Andrew and friends. Tomorrow we'll be doing a show starting at 3 p.m. Eastern.
Sorry.
Yeah, that's why I'm ending it, is because you're still here, but you're crying like a little baby. Boatloads, this is a big booking. Congrats, guys. I agree. It was fucking awesome to have Earl Skakel on. I can't appreciate anymore that he popped in. He said he was going to give us an hour of time. Guess what? He gave us an hour and a half. So that's pretty fucking awesome to say. So you guys are going to spend very generous of his time. So you guys are going to spend the whole weekend hanging out on No Filter. I don't think we're doing another show until Wednesday of next week, which is kind of weird considering we do like Monday, Wednesday, Friday, fucking without fail. We have not missed a Monday, Wednesday, Friday in probably almost a year now. It's kind of crazy to think that the holiday season is here and we're actually going to miss a freaking show. Also, for anyone out there with the membership, we won't be doing a memberships show on Sunday. I know that's the new thing, but give us another week. We'll be back. Obviously, Christmas Eve is Sunday. Christmas Day is Monday. So we won't be doing, like I said, we won't be doing another show till Wednesday. So,
but you know what? If you need a show on Christmas,
go check out No Filter.
Exactly. No Filter with Andrew and friends, folks.
And that's right. Other than that, Mr. A, do you have any thoughts on our guest tonight or anything else you wanted to add in?
I'm surprised you didn't know.
Fuck you, Mr.
My
A.
whole life, I could beat you up even if you had 1,000 knives. Even if you had infinity knives, I would punch you up into the air like a kite. I bet you sleep with the night light, cause you're scared of the dark, cause you stink like a fart. Well, I like your fart on fire with my rounds. You think I won't? I do it all the time. I bet I got more money than Jay-Z. Compared to me, Jay-Z is lazy. Plus Beyonce thinks that I'm cute. It's okay, Beyonce, I think you're cute too. I made out with so many girls. Made out with every girl in the world. I might look small, but I'm not. I don't care if you're big, I'll fight you. Well, I do know that I am the baddest of them all. If you ain't about money, then I don't mess with y'all. Y'all think I don't get girls, cause I ain't very tall. If she see my stats, I bet you that she calls. Cause I am the baddest of them all. If you ain't about money, then I don't mess with y'all. Y'all think I don't get girls, cause I ain't very tall. If she see my stats, I bet you that she calls.